thought my neighbor was just a quiet old man, until the night he spoke to me. My neighbor is unusual. He mostly keeps to himself, not bothering anybody. He creeps me out. There's something off about him. I can't put my finger on it. He's always home, but I can't find fault with that. Maybe he has agoraphobia. I live about 3 miles from his house. During the pandemic, I was stuck home alone for days, so I revived my hobby of birdwatching and bought powerful binoculars. I spend hours watching the birds. There was a rivalry between the scrub jays and the stellar jays, while the robins kept to the shady parts of my backyard to hunt worms. Little songbirds ate from the feeder on the floor of the deck, slightly under a table to keep the rain out. I was following a bird with my binoculars when I happened to see this man out on his deck. Given the topography of the neighborhood, we both were on slight hills and could look down and see across a few different properties. He was watering his potted plants, smiling when he did this. It seemed to give him great pleasure. He's about my dad's age, with gray hair, baggy pants, and flannel shirts. I didn't really think about him after that. One evening when I was outside having a cocktail, I looked at just the right time to see a brilliant flash of light coming from his house. The flash was teal in color. What makes a teal flash of light? In the darkness of the neighborhood, I couldn't really see anything, but it piqued my curiosity. A couple days later, Amazon delivered a telescope. I enjoy looking at the stars, but to tell the truth, I also watch my neighbor, not like stalkerish. I'm just interested in him for some reason. Sometimes the man danced, not very well, but with enthusiasm. He sang, although I couldn't hear him, and he smiled a lot. He was a genuinely happy person. I decided to call him Gerald because he looked like my sister's dog, Gerald. Only slightly, just enough to invite the name. I didn't mean it disrespectfully. Gerald was a great dog, I would think. I wonder what Gerald's up to. Or, I haven't seen Gerald all week. When I told my sister about Gerald, she kept thinking he was a love interest. No, he's a guy I see from my deck. I don't know anything about him, and he's old. Like that. She laughed and said, "Oh, so it's a daddy syndrome, Roma." No, there is no romance. What can't you understand about that? She could be exasperating sometimes. I saw the teal flash again. I turned off my outdoor lights and trained the telescope on Gerald's house. I could see inside his house. Somehow I didn't expect that. I could see that he had a computer set up that looked pretty advanced. At least, more so than most people have in their homes. There were 3 extra-large screens, and something else. It was black, 5 feet tall, rectangular, with legs and tiny blinking lights. I had no idea what it was. Then I saw men in his house, crowded around his computer screen. 2 of them were slightly rubbing their chins, as if amazed at what they were seeing. Suddenly they all turned and looked at me. I couldn't believe it. How could they see me in the dark? I went as still as I could and waited them out. Sure enough, in about 45 seconds, they turned back to the computer. That spooked me. The next day, I saw Gerald on his deck. He had his forearms on the railing and was leaning forward, looking directly at me. First, I was startled, then decided what the hell, and waved to him. Gerald smiled and waved back. That evening, I had my nightly cocktail on the deck while using my headphones and relaxing. In the middle of a Jack White song, I heard a man's voice through my headphones. "Hello there, neighbor. Lovely evening, isn't it?" Shocked, I sat up and ripped off my headphones. I looked at Gerald. He smiled and waved. Was he really talking to me through my own headphones? Ismile. I didn't know what to do. Should I call somebody? If so, who? Who do you call when a stranger talks to you through your fucking headphones? A psychiatrist. Gerald was still smiling at me. I waved tentatively. I put my headphones on and heard him say, "Would you like to see something?" I tilted my head as I looked at him. He held his hands out in front of himself and teal-colored sparks emerged from his fingertips. The sparks grew and changed colors, like he was holding miniature fireworks in his bare hands. Sparks arched from the fingertips on one hand to the fingertips of the other. He accordia, the space between his fingers, and a beautiful design emerged. It was a geometric pattern, then changed into the image of a scrub jay, then a hummingbird, a flower, and finally, my own face. In amazement, I touched my face and saw his image copying me. Gerald kept smiling, as if he was showing me his artwork. Impossible. Then the sparks died down. Gerald tipped his hat and went inside. I couldn't sleep. I was getting cameras, some kind of parabolic microphone, and whatever spy gear that could help me understand. In the morning, I took my cup of coffee to the deck and glanced at Gerald's house. It wasn't there. There was no smoking heap of ashes. It was like it had never existed. His house, his flower pots, and the colored flashes. Where did it all go? I don't even know who to ask. Who might understand? So I'm posting this here on social media. Does anyone know what this could be? Am I losing my mind? I haven't left my house in a week. Please be kind in your comments. Any advice is greatly appreciated.